confess something? Once you've worked in finance long enough, your brain becomes different. Not smarter or wiser, just wired differently, like in a strange way. Things regular people do normally suddenly seem risky to you. And the things that seem normal to finance people, everybody else finds this weird. Anyway, today I will show you 7 strange habits you unconsciously pick up when you work in finance or like me in investment banking. And you can steal some of the useful ones for your own life, because trust me, you would never look at your own money the same way again. If you're meeting for the first time, I'm Financial Jennifer, an investment banker, a chartered accountant, a chartered stockbroker, a licensed dealer in the Nigerian stock market, but most importantly, your money cheerleader. In this our finance family, we are all about making smart money moves, growing our finance intentionally, investing, starting businesses, side hustle, passive income. I know you like money. I know you love those kind of things. Hit that subscription button right away. Welcome to the family. Number one thing that happens when you work in finance, you automatically convert everything to percentages even before you react. So for finance people, they like to convert everything. Let's say someone says something like, this is now 3,000. Normal people will be like, oh, everything is expensive, not a finance person. They will say, wait, how many percent increase is this really? So why does this happen? Because in finance, the absolute numbers can be misleading, but percentages tells you the truth. How can you apply this in your own life? Let's say, for example, before panicking about the cost of things or celebrating results, ask yourself, what's the percentage change? It's going to train your brain to think rationally, not just emotionally about your money, right? Number 2 is you can't spend without comparing alternatives. Finance people cannot just buy something. No, they will automatically compare. What's the cost per unit? What's the substitute? What's the long-term, let's say, savings? The resale value. What's the ROI on this purchase? In fact, even to buy simple shawarma, they will not buy it without thinking. First of all, wait, is this giving me maximum utility per naira I'm spending? That's finance people for you. So let's face a scenario. Let's say you go out with your friend, you want to buy pizza. A finance person will first of all ask, for this price we are spending on this pizza, can we just say roasted chicken that will still last us the same time? How can you apply this? Before spending, ask, is there a smarter alternative? That's just it. Just take 10 seconds to think about it, and it can save you a lot of money over time. The third one, you will become obsessed with timing everything. Finance people don't just do things, they time them. What's the best time to buy groceries? What's the best time to pay bills? What's the best time to fuel your car? The best time to negotiate? The best time to travel? They are always taking the perfect time, because there's some seasons save you some money, right? Because in the market, timing affects pricing. Let me give you an example now. You want to travel in December. If another person will tell you tickets are seasonal, ticket prices are seasonal, we should book now. I already checked the volatility for the year, the timing of, oh God, don't laugh at us, because even the meals, even the food you eat are timed with economic decisions. So how can you apply this? Life has price seasons, right? Study when things are cheaper, and then it helps you to plan ahead. You are going to save a lot of money and even save yourself the stress. And again, leverage sales. When there are discount sales or normal promo sales, they are going to save you money. If you can wait for that period, wait if it's not an urgent buy. Habit number 4 for finance people. You can't hear news without your blood pressure rising. In a good way, Sha, in a good way. So let's say a normal person now would hear something like, inflation has risen, and they will just sign, Nigeria. Finance people, they will hear the same thing and their brain starts to light up. Will not tell you, this is interesting, but how does it affect asset allocation? They enjoy analyzing every CBN announcement, exchange rate drama, let's say business failure, stock movement. Nothing happens without a reason. Even the change in fuel prices, it's like mental football. You are always analyzing, comparing it, what's the impact on inflation and all that. Okay, let me give for example, CBN increased interest rates, right? If another person is going to look at it, oh, let's run some impact scenarios. How does this affect this and that? I beg you first. So for someone like you now, what do? It's going to keep you financially aware, not anxious. So you have to understand that when things happen in the economy, there are certain money moves you could make, even in investments. Let's say, for example, this new tax law is going to impact in different things in your business. But even, there are industries that this tax law will favor. There are industries that are going to pick up one way or the other. In fact, we're going to discuss some of these things in the 2026 1 year workshop. Some of the best investments we should be making for 2026 based on the things happening in the economy, because we believe that money is going to go into this. The government is going to push traction to these things. God, have you joined the 1 year workshop, the 2026 1 year workshop? It's a gathering of financial people like you and I, where we come to set the tone for the year. It's happening in January. We are setting the tone for the year. Where are we putting our money? Where is the money for this year? It's just less than $5. You have to be in that room more, because when you see thousands thousands of other people excited, making strategic decisions on where to put their money. I'm going to be in charge, telling you what we are doing for 2026. You have to join. The link to join will be on the description. I'm also going to pin it. The fifth habit, the one I'm really excited about, the one I really love, is as a finance person, you start treating every naira like an employee. It's not funny because it's in fact it's an unconscious thing you begin to do. Finance experts see money as tiny workers, like staff, right? If the money is sitting idle, it's unemployed. And even in this community, you know, we don't do idle money. We don't do, you can't know financial Jennifer and you're still leaving your money idle in the bank. Your money is a vehicle you must send to work. In the right vehicle, it must not underperform. There are better options than where you're leaving your money currently. If it's in the right place, it's working to bring friends home, to bring more money, to bet more children. So how can you apply this? Every month, look at your money, look at your finances and ask, where should this go to produce me the best results? This bank account, is this still working? This mutual fund, is this still working? What are the better options you have for your savings and investments? You are in this community, by now you already know now. You know they do idle cash. Every money must go to work. And these are some of the things we'll be exploring in the 2026 Money Year Workshop. Number 6 things that finance people do that can be actually annoying to other people is when people say something like, just buy it, without any contest, you know, just buy it. So let me paint for example, regular people, they romanticize let's say impulsive buying. They'll tell you life is just one, just buy it, only live once, you have to treat yourself, you know. Financial people will just be looking at you. Because buy what? Why? What's the utility? What's the long-term value in this thing? Is this an asset or is this a liability? What's the depreciation curve like? That's finance people for you. So let me paint an example. Now your friend says something like, let's buy a drink, it's 30K. A finance person will ask you, do you know that 30K invested monthly for 12 months? You know what it looks like? They are a huge, or you can call us that, but it's unintentional. It's unintentional. So how can you apply this? Don't let impulsive phrases sabotage your money, really. Always pause before you spend money, particularly on big spending decisions. So this last and 7th one, thank God I don't used to do that one, but finance people, they hoard receipts. They keep it like historical documentation record. So let's say real normal people will just throw away the receipts and not for finance people. They will keep them, archive, National Museum, restaurant receipt, POS receipt, flight boarding pass, the one from 2020, supermarket receipt, the one that have even faded. If you check their bag, you will see receipt from places they no longer, in fact, places that have even gone on extinction. Why does this happen? Because reconciling expenses is just like an instinct, right? Because in finance, record is key. You subconsciously want to match, this transaction has to have a record to back it. Even in real life, I know it's funny. So let's say, for example, now, your friend borrows money from you, and when they are returning it, normal people will just collect the money and go and keep it. Finance people will be like, oh, wait, hold on. Let me go and cross-check with my record of disbursements. On top normal loan, they came to brought back. Anyway, how can you apply this? Start keeping at least digital records, the one that matters, right? It's going to help you to spot spending leakages you didn't even know exist. Or another easier way is just take time to review your bank statement so that when you're looking at some things, you know where the money went, you know what it was used for and all that. So my dear, my fellow finance people, it's not as if you are weird or something. No, okay, maybe we are a little. But this habit, it just actually helps sometimes to keep money under control. And if you can adopt one or two that makes sense to you, why not? Your financial life will change. So tell me in the comments, which of these habits are you even doing, whether you're a finance person or not? Which one do you think you are guilty of? And before you go, remember, 2026 Money Year Workshop is happening this January. You have to be there. The details will be on the description and even on the pinned comment. Let's meet there to discuss how 2026 is going to be our best money year ever.